What would you say your love language is?
Physical touch. It's only words of affirmation.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Caroline, back again with another hair therapy session. A hair therapy session, this little series I've been doing where I share a little bit more than just your everyday wig install tips and tricks and get a little bit more deep and open and vulnerable with you guys. So with that said, get yourself a nice big cup of tea, whatever it may be, and let's sit back, relax, and get right into today's session.
Bad things, fine as hell, thick as fuck, oh my god, that's my baby, Caroline.
The hair that we're going to be installing today is from ISEE Hair Company. It's been a long time since I've worked at ISEE Hair, and one thing that has not changed with them is how cute their packaging is. Like, look at this little box they gave me. I feel like it was perfect for the theme of today's video. They sent me their own version of their ready-to-wear out-of-the-box M-cap glueless wigs. This is a 9x6 HD glueless lace. It comes with the wig already pre-plucked, pre-bleached, and a pre-cut lace. So literally everything you need to do pre is already done for you, so you can put on your head right out of the box. This is their 28-inch water wave wig in 200% density. Look at the wig underneath. It comes with a full 9x6 parting, so 9 inches all the way down and 6 inches to the side. I call it like a closure frontal hybrid. The wig does come with a nice adjustable strap as well as 2 removable clips on the side and removable clips in the back. All of this making it very throw on and go friendly. Like I said, this is from the M-cap line of wigs. The M-cap wigs are just the wigs that come with this C curved around the ears, allowing you to be able to easily just wear your hair tucked behind your ear, and also help with reducing the discomfort you get whenever you have the wig cap sitting right on top of your ears. So more breathable, easy, everyday fit, and a perfect little throw on and go wig to add to your collection. Whew. I have been definitely needing this session, y'all, especially with today being Valentine's Day. I just started realizing this is my actual first Valentine's Day alone in like 10 years. I'm not saying I just came out of a long 10-year relationship. No, not like that. I'm saying for the past 10 years, I have been in and out of relationships. I've only really had 2.5 boyfriends. I say 2.5 because the last one, it was comically short, like too short to even count as a full relationship in my opinion. But I have always been known as a girlfriend relationship girl. Cause whenever I get into relationships, I get in them and I be in them for the long run. Like I don't just hop out of one to another. Like I hop in one, stay there for the longest until the wheels fall off basically. Like I am a ride or die lover girl type of girl. So really in these relationships, I never really knew anything about me, what I liked, what I didn't like, which is why I could like let any guy like me, because I didn't even know what kind of guy I liked and did not like. I truly feel like everything really happens for a reason. Since I grew up in a more sheltered lifestyle as a kid, I felt like maybe I did have to go through these relationships and go in without knowing anything for me to be able to find myself, because it was in these relationships is when I started to really find myself, but not like through the relationships themselves. It was through the breakups and the heartbreaks and just really having to rebuild myself is where I started to find myself. So I think everything happens truly for a reason. So right now, if you're going through a really big breakup and you're just like, why me? How am I going to see this through to the end? Maybe you just needed a rebranding era, and God, the universe, just wanted to send something to force you to change and grow. Because I can sit here months later, and I didn't think I would be able to say this, but I am grateful for the heartbreak and the breakups and the things that I had to go through to be able to stand here and be stronger. Because the girl that I am today, she is 10 times more amazing and resilient than the girl that I was back in those relationships. Like that girl back then, you could tell her anything and she's crumbling to the ground. But me, I'm strong as a rock. Nothing can push me. And the more things I go through, the stronger I become. I really believe in the what does not kill you makes you stronger. So all you gotta do right now, babe, if you're going through it, just make it to the end. Somehow, some way. Now I get why my mom used to, or like parents used to always tell you younger, don't worry about falling in love right now. Don't worry about falling in love. Worry about loving yourself. That is so true. Like the first love you need to have with yourself really needs to be yourself first and furthermost. Because since I didn't really love myself a lot back then in those relationships, I feel like I allowed a lot of like certain things, disrespects, and like I let a lot of things slide because since I didn't value myself that much, I didn't know what like was like an insult to my character or to who I am. Like whenever you don't love yourself, you really will let anything happen to you, to be honest. This might be a bit of a hot take, but I feel like I feel like a lot of men really do benefit off having an insecure girlfriend. Like, they'll want a girl that, like, she probably isn't too aware of how beautiful she is, how smart she is, how much she is valued. So therefore they use that as like an opportunity to kind of like, they can like manipulate her more, play with her feelings more, like just get away with a lot more, because that girl doesn't know how beautiful, how amazing, how great she really is. So she is letting herself go for a lot cheap. Let me not even generalize this to just men. I feel like just people who are more on the manipulation side, or like narcissist kind of people, they really do tend to feed off insecure people, because whenever you're insecure and you're feeling less about yourself, you can really let a lot of bullshit go past your head, honestly. Like, you can let someone gaslight you. I think the greatest power someone can have is when someone can have over you is when they start to make you question yourself. If you're someone who can be easily made to question yourself, you are a gold mine to manipulators out there. So I feel like the really main reason why a lot of my relationships were able to like last, like my first one was like 3 years, the next one almost 5 years, and they're able to last so long honestly because of me. I didn't value myself enough, so I would really take a lot of things, and I would go a lot out of my way to try to prove myself to these guys that I was worthy, and they were eating it up. Like, I was the kind of girl, if my man need money, I would give him money. Like, I was very much a 50-50 girl, or not even 50-50. I was definitely much like 70-30, where I'm doing the 70, he's doing the 30. Like, I would really like to go above and beyond for my boyfriends, whoever I like, to show that I was worthy enough for them, and not really requiring them to do too much for me. The only thing I'd really ask is that you were loving me back and giving me genuine love. But look, babe, and I want to hold the hands of all my nice girls, lover girls out there. Just because you do backflips for someone, go out of your way and go above and beyond, that does not mean they owe you anything back, babe. When I go above and beyond someone that I love, or just anyone in general, I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart, not because I'm hoping you will love me back. Because the resentment you will have later on in the relationship, and the heartbreak you will face when you realize all the things you did for someone didn't really secure you a secure spot in their heart. Just save your time, save yourself the break, the cry, the tears. This might be another hot take, controversial opinion, may it be, but I feel like a lot of the reasons why we find ourselves going back or taking back a guy that is definitely not worthy of our love is because we do not love ourselves enough. I feel comfortable saying this because at one point, like I was saying before in the past, I was very much more insecure and did not have enough self-worth. So whenever I'd find myself taking a guy back, I mean, I only did this one time, but I definitely took back an ex that definitely did me dirty, and I took him back for 2 reasons. One, of course, being the optimistic person I am, I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I always feel like people can change because I'm not a perfect person myself, so I like to give people a chance. And two, in the moment, since I love this man so much, I felt like this was the greatest and best love that I was going to ever get, I was going to receive. Who's going to love me like this? Sure, so what? He did ABCD to me. Who's going to love me like this? But now that I really like love me a lot more, I realized, girl, who gonna love you like this? Be for real. Like, the way he loved you was not even that great. You know how Drake was like, why you smiling? I don't even treat you that good. That's what it was giving. Like, all the times it's like we'll fall for these men, these people in our lives, and think that this is the best that we get, this is the best that we deserve, not realizing like we actually deserve 10 times more, and there's actually better coming our way. We just don't see that for ourselves. Or another reason why people settle and end up staying a lot is because the fear of being lonely, or the discomfort that comes with being lonely. Like, I think one thing that's not talked about enough is the negative side of knowing your worth and loving yourself. Not gonna lie to you guys, knowing your worth and loving yourself, it's a bit ghetto. It's not fun sometimes. It's hard. That's kind of honestly why it's called loving yourself, because love is hard, even when it comes to loving yourself. Like, having to always hug yourself at night and tell yourself it's okay and just like be there for yourself consistently can be so draining. Like, there's so much comfort and stability that comes with a relationship and being with someone. So I definitely understand why people, despite what the man or girl has done to them, find it hard to let go of that person, because it's like, who wants to go through life alone and do these things by myself? Even now that I'm talking all this talk, like, I found peace. Trust me, there are days where I literally want to cry my eyes out. I'm just like, I don't want to have to be there for myself again. I don't want to do this. I wish I had a guy that I could like just cry to and have him tell me he's going to be okay. But since, you know, back to the whole self-love thing, I love myself so much that I can't just allow myself to run to any guy to share my feelings and to share my vulnerability with. Like, I deserve the best quality type, and finding quality does take time. So in the time being, whenever I start to get that type of feeling where like loving myself and being on my own starts to get too heavy, I start to reach out into the other types of love, because love is still love, and it doesn't matter what type of love it is, romantic, friendship, family. And I'm trying to realize these days, like, friendship, family, love, low-key can soothe the soul in the same way, as long as it is intentionally deep and meaningful. Meaning, for example, my friends, like, I always make this joke these days that I low-key be dating my friends. Like, I don't have a man in my life, but I got my friends in my life, and I treat them like they're my man. And really curating these great friendships that are so intimate and deep with my friends, I feel like has really, one, been improving my quality of life, and two, also improving my self-worth. Because if these girls that I don't know like that, well, I do know, but like, if my girls can go above and beyond for me, what kind of guy, why would I accept some nonsense guy giving me bare minimum? My girlfriends who are not even dating me don't give me bare minimum. So why would I allow some man to give me bare minimum, you know? Same thing goes with tapping into the love that you get from your family. If you're blessed enough to have a loving family, and you're finding yourselves in like really lonely times where you need someone, reach to your mom, reach to your dad, your siblings. I've found myself a lot these days really kind of being sentimental and deeping just how like good loving your family can feel. I know this sounds so like what, Caroline, but I like kind of grew up being very like, oh my god, my family, because again, strict African parents, first daughter struggles, you know, if you know, you know, right? So I really wasn't really trying to like be all lovey-dovey with my family, right? And plus my family, we're not very lovey-dovey in general, but these days I've been really just like having more one-on-one time with my siblings. I have a younger sister. Like, I take her out more, I talk to my siblings, I talk to my parents more, and I also try my best to show up authentically as myself. I think especially growing up like in my Nigerian household, where as a kid I didn't get to be myself, so I didn't feel accepted with my family, but these days I show up as myself a lot more, and then accepting me for who I am, and just doing stuff with my family. That love too has been also taking that space of the romantic love that I'm lacking right now, you know? And there's just something about the love you get from your family. It's very unconditional. Like, you can break up with a boyfriend, divorce your husband, break up with your friends, but for better or for worse, you cannot break up with your family. You might beef, you might not see them for a minute, you might like isolate them out for a minute, but at the end of the day, family is always going to be there. And I think with me being blessed enough to have a bit of a loving family, it kind of helps comfort me at times when I do get those lonely, burning feelings that I'm not really alone. I'm just not talking to my family. I need to go talk to them. Like, there's people who love me, and just I don't have that romantic love in my life right now does not mean that I am not loved. So I'll just like wrap it up and bring it back home. It's like, if you're right now, you know, you don't have that romantic love in your life at all, and you're feeling kind of just really overwhelmed and everything's starting to get really heavy, I'm saying this is time to try your best to lean on other types of love. Find love in friends, love in family. If none of those work, I'm telling you, finding love in yourself. Because as much as I'm over here saying family, friends, I still find the most deepest love in the love that I have for myself. When I say I have the love that I have for myself, I kind of mean like I start treating myself like my own partner. For example, I started creating new habits for myself to do, like going to bed on time, eating healthier, working out more, because I'm treating myself like I was a kid and I am my own, like I don't know how to explain it. It's like I am in charge of me. I'm saying this like in the third person, outer look, like I'm in charge of me, and since I want me to be amazing and be successful, and I love me so much, I am going to be doing these things, doing these little habits to better me. You know, like working on yourself is part of self-love. Being tough and being disciplined and telling yourself no sometimes is also part of self-love. Because like I love me so much that I don't want to like eat so much and get and feel ugly about myself later. I love me so much that I don't want to stay up really late and wake up with a headache, or I don't want to drink so much because I love me so much that I don't want to become an alcoholic and ruin my life. Once you love yourself, I promise you, it's like you will do so many things. But Like I said earlier though, sometimes loving yourself gets really, really exhausting and can be draining, especially if you're not used to loving yourself all the time. And it can be a little depressing. I don't know. I feel like people always like to advocate love yourself and work on yourself this, but not also say sometimes the sad, lonely, depressing, isolating parts about it. But whenever I start to feel those times, I start trying to spread my love, because I've probably filled my cup of self-love to the top and now it's overfilling. So I got to start pouring that love into other things such as family, friends. And if you've never been in love, don't even start to sweat it. Don't feel bad about it. If no one has ever loved you, I think one last thing I'm learning again in life is that life is so long, guys. Life is long. Like, people always say life is short. Nah, scrap that. I like to say life is long. Like, just because no one has not loved you today does not mean someone's not going to love you tomorrow. You just need to stick around long enough and believe in that tomorrow. Like Delulu, literally believe that someone's going to love you amazingly tomorrow, and stick around and stay alive the longest for you to get to that tomorrow. But in the meantime, curate other things around you, build the best version of you, so whenever you do find that love, you're in the best position to really enjoy it and not be like me, who in the past was loved and had loved, but I didn't even know who I was. I didn't even love myself, and that was damaging in its own ways. I feel like literally everything really happens for a reason, and things have its timing. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to really say for today's session on love, and that is all for this install. It came out pretty cute, and I feel a lot better. I feel like I just shared a lot of like my little journal entries and just shared some thoughts that were swirling around in my head. I hope any of this was kind of, I don't know, helpful, insightful, or comforting for you. If it was, comment down below. Leave some messages for the rest of us lover girls out there. And shout out to you for loving yourself, because look, trust me, as someone who's been really working on loving myself, shout out to you. Loving yourself is so hard. Many people literally settle just to get out of doing it because it's so hard. And you haven't settled. You're still out here being the advocate to get the best love you deserve. And for that, I'm very proud of you. And I promise you, the world, God is going to reward you with the greatest love of all. Just stick around till make it to that part. But yeah, that's the end of today's ramble. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in another one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out, Girl Scouts. Goodbye.